Hey there, it's Rachel from All About Planners. So if you watched my last video, which was my Europe stationery haul, the link will be below if you haven't seen it already. One of the planners that I got was the Moleskine planner. So I originally found this larger size one earlier on in the trip, and then later on I found the smaller size one. They both have the same layout. I really like the layout, so I ended up with both. Probably try both this year. So one of the reasons that I really like this layout, or well, the main reason, is because the days of the week are smaller and they're horizontal. So I really only use the days of the week for blog post planning and due dates and things that like have to be done on that day, like paying bills, etc. And then on the right side with the line space, I like to do list making and brain dumping and then just work off that during the week, rather than trying to allocate it to a day, because I don't really care when some things get done, just as long as they do. So that's why I got both versions. So in terms of size, this one is more a medium size. It is about 7.5 inches wide by about 9.75 inches high, and then the smaller one is about half a US page size, so 5.25 by about 8.25. So they've got the same layout inside, so I'll just go through the small one because it's easier to fit inside the frame of the camera. But first, the covers. So there's two cover options. They both have this elastic band as well, by the way. They have this soft cover one, which I would not recommend. I'm really not a fan. In fact, I kind of hate it because it's really thin, as you can see, super bendy. It's not like cardstock. I guess it's kind of like leatherish. It's soft, super bendy. And I really hate it because it's plain and boring. There's nothing even on the cover. There's nothing in like gold foil saying this is a 2018 planner or anything like that. Nothing on the spine either. So really, really hate the cover. Also, like it's thin, which is good, and it's lightweight because it doesn't have the spiral or coil binding or anything like that. It's got the book binding. But that for me is a con because I really hate book binding. Doesn't tend to want to stay flat. When you get to the middle pages like this, yep, that's great. But at the start, it tends to just want to self-close, as you can see. So that's my main con with this planner. If it had the disc binding, which I absolutely love, or spiral binding, or something other than book binding, then I'd probably love it a lot more. Okay, so for the hardcover, which is the small version, a lot more sturdier. As you can see, it's not really bending much, which is good. Seems quite sturdy, and they've got rounded corners, so it does get like scuffed, which is a good idea. But again, nothing on the spine. And if I take this off, you'll see that it's quite bland and boring on the front cover. If you were using a Moleskine notebook in addition to one of these planners, you'd probably get them confused because there's nothing to even say that it's a planner on it. So that's definitely a con for me. Okay, so the layout and all the inside pages are the exact same for the larger size and this smaller one. So I'll just show you the smaller one, and then I'll do a comparison for the monthly and the weekly spreads, so you can get an idea which size would be better for you if you are interested in this planner. So got the This Belongs To page. The paper is like a creamy color. Not a fan. I really like bright white paper, so I'll be definitely doing some pen testing. The link will be in the blog post below, which I'll include the link below this video, because I'm definitely keen to see if the pens bleed through, because as you can see, there's a lot of ghosting of just the printer ink, so I'm assuming that pens are going to bleed through as well, so definitely want to try that out. So personal data page, dates at a glance page. So these ones start on a Monday, and then I'm pretty sure the week starts on a Monday as well, which is great, keeping it consistent. And the monthly calendar also starts on a Monday, so big tick for that, for keeping it consistent. But big con for the calendar. So I really, really hate this calendar. Really hate it. So, what can I say? You can't fit much in these boxes because they're so tiny. So if I get my ruler, it's only 0.75 inches wide by about 1 inch high. So good luck fitting anything in there. The most you'll be able to do is a couple of icon stickers. So if you want to use your monthly calendar for bill tracking, which I tend to do, then I guess it's good for that. You can just stick some icon stickers in. But in terms of actually using it for planning and writing anything in there, I don't think you'll be able to fit anything. The other thing that I don't like is when monthly calendars include 6 rows. So rather than just like restarting the numbering, it doesn't happen for these months, but they'll put like a 1 down here rather than just putting it up the top there. So it's kind of dead space, wasted space. You do get this note section down the bottom, but they could make it bigger. So I'd probably just cover that with a sticker or washi or just right over the top of the boxes because that's kind of dead space otherwise. I do like that it includes the week numbers though, because not all planner companies do that. In fact, this is the first one that I've found that has done it on the monthly calendar, and it also does it on the weekly spread as well, which is great. Most companies do it on the weekly spread, if at all. So that's definitely a pro. So if I keep going through the monthly calendars, I guess one pro is because it restarts it down that bottom row, it's not splitting the boxes in two. If you've watched any of my other planner reviews, of which there are many, on my YouTube channel, you see that that is pretty much the first thing that I look for and is a major con in my opinion. So I guess kind of good that they don't do that. Okay, so the other thing that I noticed about the Moleskine planners is that it includes a lot of pages that other planners normally don't in terms of the extras pages. So we've got the International Holidays chart, and there's a few others as well, which I'll show in a minute. So I do quite like this chart because then you can just go to your country, so Australia where I am, and it'll tell you the date of when things are, which is good, but it doesn't tell you what it is. Like it'll just say, you know, December 25th, well obviously Christmas, but you know, if you weren't in that country and you didn't know, then it wouldn't be very helpful. So a lot of my customers are in the US, so things like, you know, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that kind of thing. That's mainly what I would be looking for. So it just gives you the date, not what the actual like event is, and only the main ones as well. So to be honest, I probably wouldn't get much use out of this. I tend to just Google it and find out that way, or just write it in myself, the ones that are relevant, and not, you know, track all these ones which aren't probably that relevant to me. Okay, so a time zone map, again, I tend to just Google this / know it off by heart because a lot of my customers are international, but it's there if you want it split up on the page. Next one is the measurements and conversions. So I would actually use this. Super useful. I do actually have a kitchen metric conversion in my recipe binder. I know some people keep that in their planner, so you could refer to this for metric ones, and then there's also like temperature for cooking. I mean, it does have some weight ones, but it doesn't have like 1 cup equals, you know, self-raising flour equals whatever in an alternative, which I think would be really handy, but I mean, only if you bake like I do. So then we've got speed. Again, probably wouldn't use that so much, but it's there if you need it. And international sizes. So I thought this was quite handy. I have a printable that I made that I have within my planner for shoe sizes and clothing sizes. So I mean, this already comes with it, which is a good idea for Mr. and Mrs., which I thought was pretty clever. So that's probably why these planners are kind of, in my opinion, plain and boring, because they're like gender neutral. You know, there's nothing too feminine about it, but it's not super masculine. So if you know a bloke that needs a planner, this one could be a good option. Dialing codes, again, I don't think I would ever use this page. I don't know anyone in all these super exotic countries. Wish I did. And if I wanted to, I would just probably Facebook them or message them, not ring them. But I mean, it's there if that is applicable to you. Travel planning page, in my opinion, way too brief. There's nothing that really has space to plan anything. Like I have a whole travel planner, so I'd probably never use that page. I just turn it into extra list making space, or you could use it as a passwords and logins tracker. Those 3 columns, some grid dot paper and some blank space, a map, which I thought was a cool idea, so you could plot where you want to go, where you've been, do some trip planning that way. I have a big poster map that I use with pins, but if you don't have the luxury of having space for that, then you could just put some colored dots or stickers on this one. A ruler, which is very handy, and again, something that not many planners include. Some put it on the bookmark, but this one's on the actual page. And then we get into, it's got the little legend as well for the moon cycles. Again, doesn't really apply to me. I would never actually refer to that because I don't particularly care. But one of my readers said they use it for planting, I think she said. So if you want it, it's there. Okay, so the actual weekly planning pages. So really, really like that it starts on a Monday, which is consistent with the monthly spread and that annual calendar. And horizontal, which is good, except when we get to the bottom. So Saturday and Sunday share the same amount of planning space as one day of the week, which I really hate when planners do that. I'd rather they keep it the same size the whole way through. But on the other hand, I have taken to using this layout of planner for blog post planning, and I don't post on Saturdays and Sundays. So, I mean, it's not a huge deal. I'm just pointing out because I know some people don't like it. You could always take that top space where they've just got like a general section and the week number and just like rewrite Monday, Tuesday, but that could get annoying if you're doing it every week. Could always use stickers, but again, it's just more time consuming. You know, you kind of want, given how many planners there are, you kind of want something that's exactly what you want these days. So anyway, just throwing a few ideas out there. So lined note-taking space, and the lines are pretty good spacing. They're about 0.25 inches, which is, in my opinion, the ideal line spacing. Very thin paper, as you can see. I'll be doing a pen testing, and the link will be to the blog post will be in the description box below. So that's just repeated the whole way throughout the planner. There aren't any tabs with this planner, which is a major con for me. You could always use a paper clip to mark the current week and then also the month, because it goes the months, and then if we go to the weeks, as you can see, it's all like clustered together. And then at the back of the planner, we have some note space, a few notes pages, not too many, probably only about 5 or 6, and then the pocket folder. So this is quite a roomy pocket folder, as you can see. I can get my whole hand in there. And it comes with some stickers, if I can ever get them out. So cute icon stickers, which would fit in those small monthly calendar boxes. Now in terms of icons, I'm not too sure about some of these icons. And like this one, for example, is just a jumbo $ sticker. So I don't know, some of them are kind of weird to me that they would make a sticker that big with so many icons on them. I'd much prefer just the individual ones. A couple of different colors, some little travel ones, and some alphabet ones. So, I mean, kind of random that they'd include alphabet ones. I haven't really thought of a use for that. I guess if you've got someone's birthday and it starts with G, or you use that as your coding system, so instead of colours or symbols or numbers, you use letters, you could use them that way. But I don't know, I'm not too much a fan of them. I'd rather just make my own and colour code them in rainbow colours and all the rest of it. But again, gender neutral planner, so if you wanted them, they're there. And they've got that elastic band. Just a bit awkward trying to do this one-handed, but I shall attempt to put it on to show you guys what it looks like. So, elastic band. It's quite a tight fit, so if you want to put extra pages in here, good luck to you, because I don't think it will fit. As you can see, it's already quite snug over the planner. Okay, so in terms of a comparison with the weekly size and the monthly calendars for this large and small version, so if I get the large version out and open to one of the pages, as you can see, quite a bit more room to write. The line spacing is the same, should probably use inches, in 0.25, as you can see. And compare this to one of the weeks of the smaller planner, as you can see, quite a big difference. So if you need more room to write, definitely get that bigger one. Otherwise, this one's quite small and portable, and both of them are very lightweight. So if you've been deterred from larger planners before, but you really want to use one and you want to take it with you and not have it be super heavy in your handbag, then I would definitely recommend the large one. I reckon the Moleskine would be a good option for that, because it doesn't have that spiral binding, it's just the book binding, so it's a lot lighter. So in terms of the calendars, so very small boxes on, just do a measure on the small one, so about 0.75 by about 1 inch high, and again it does the 6-week thing, 6 rows, which is kind of dead space to me, in my opinion. Oops, went too far. Need the monthly calendar. This is when tabs would really come in handy. If someone from Moleskine is watching this, please put tabs on your next planner. Okay, so comparison, as you can see, pretty tiny boxes. Wouldn't really use the monthly calendar unless you're just using icon stickers, because it's kind of useless space. So I hope you found this video helpful, and don't forget to subscribe for more planner reviews, because I do one usually every week. I have tons and tons of planners. I just cannot stop buying them. It's seriously an addiction, but I do use them all. I just don't use them all for an entire year. I switch between planners because I get super bored using the same one week after week. I like to decorate them different ways, etc. So again, size comparison, this one's a lot more smaller than the larger one. So I hope you found this video helpful, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.